Sorry, I don't think people forget this is watchable. I mean, this is like I checked on Marilyn Monroe's thinking Letterboxd account.
Marilyn Monroe, she just loves it. She goes, "Hey guys, big fan of the podcast."
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Letterboxd 250 podcast, the podcast where each week we make our way through the Letterboxd 250 list. If you want to follow along with us, the list is in the description. I am your host, as usual, Kyle, and as usual, I am joined by...
You know me, Big She, strongest podcast in the whole motherfucking game. You know the vibes, Young Sandwich, aka when I go down to Spain, all the Spanish women call me El Guapo because of the natural look. They go, I love you, El Guapo. I go, I love you too.
And we're also joined... and we're also joined by...
Simon.
Every week. It was...
How is it I got you to break, Simon, and then you got me to break again? There's no way.
We all know what's coming when it gets us.
I'm going cold next week when Simon comes in with that. I'm just going cold.
I want to introduce Simon first next week and see if it's going to throw us off our game. But how are you two doing? You okay or?
Yeah, you know what? I feel good. Obviously, we're on the greatest podcast in the whole world, so keeping that streak going. And I've been watching back our old episodes, batting 100. Who could take us? Who could take us? Nobody.
And Simon, how are you?
Yeah. I've been great. I've been in the gym watching game footage, aka our past episodes.
You know what I mean?
Getting ready for this.
We're going all the way to the podcasting Western
Straight
Conference
hits, no
finals.
misses.
We're going to
Top
the
of the
Western
league.
finals,
Yeah.
and then we're going to the finals to be the greatest podcasters of all time. Come on, Rocky Balboa, baby.
Yeah, we invented podcasts.
We invented the remix as well. We're gonna do a remix of the podcast.
Which is a TV show.
We hope people enjoyed the last episode where, of course, we were joined by Jeffrey Borslow. That was a very fun episode, talking about a very great film. That's still top of the list, isn't it? The Heat.
Yeah, I think so.
Would say
was it Heat or Soul? Did Soul get 5s around the board or?
No, I gave it 4. I didn't give it 5.
Oh, then no, it's Heat because Heat we all gave 5s. You gave it 5, Kyle, or 4.5?
I give it 4, and Jeff gave it 4, and you two give 5s.
So put that together, it gives us 18. Do you guys think any episode that we do is 4 guests? The issue is always kind of going to be that film's always going to get propelled higher.
Yeah.
I said 4 guests, like we're like 3 hosts. I don't.
You got to find the average. Like I don't know why you're adding it up.
Listen, that's your job. I just say numbers, bro. God, dude.
I think Heat, on average, would be the top film, but that could all change today, couldn't it, boys? Should we get straight into the film?
Kyle, tell how some like it. Some
like it hot. So today we are talking about white chicks. I mean, some like it hot. Two musicians witness a mob hit and struggle to find a way out of the city before they are found by gangsters. Their only opportunity is to join an all-girl band as they leave on tour. So guys, who wants to go first?
I would like to go first. I never normally go first, so let me just talk about it. I love this film. You didn't say this before, though. It was directed by Billy Wilder, starring Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, and Marilyn Monroe. This is my second Billy Wilder film after Double Indemnity. Has any of you guys seen any Billy Wilder films before?
Yeah, I have. His other one being The Apartment, also with Jack Lemmon in it.
I haven't seen that, but I want to. He's like one of those guys who's like a master at his craft. And like when I saw Double Indemnity, I watched it for film studies, like for when I was doing film context last year at university, and I was like, oh, it's another one of these films she's just given us, we're gonna watch. That shit was amazing. Double Indemnity was fire, but this as well was really good. You're just watching, it's the same how I felt when we watched Heat, or we talked about that, where I talked about how like you're watching a master at his craft. He's so good at everything. There's all the shots, like when they're on the boat, Marilyn Monroe and Tony Curtis, and they're just making out, and it cuts back to them on the date. It's just great stuff like that. I found it very funny. I found it very enjoyable. It was very sort of like fresh, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't something I'd seen before, even if the concepts did seem somewhat familiar. It was done in a unique, special way. This is my first Marilyn Monroe film. famously, I heard that she's a terrible actress. Not saying those, nothing on her name. R.I.P. Marilyn, but like, you know what I mean. What? Like, listen, you can hear her overdub some lines in it when she said "hot dogs." That was like the moment that took me out. Did that take anybody else out of the film when you were watching it? And she's like, "So where are we going? Hot dogs." It was clearly like an overdubbed line, right? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she wasn't like a good traditional actress or like it took her 80 takes. When you see her on screen, she's captivating. You can't take your eye off her. When she sings, especially, like, bro, at the end where she does "I Want to Be Loved by You" first, which was fire, but then she does the one after that, which was "I'll Never Love Again" or something. And that one where you felt it. You were like, yo, bro, my boy Tony Curtis, man's trying to kill him, trying to murder my boy, right? And he just walks in. He's like, you'll get over it. And then he even felt it, bro. This guy's a shiesty dude. They left, did the whole thing. I thought the film was amazing. Reminded me a lot of North by Northwest as well, in the sense that the ending was like literally like there's 2 minutes left. And you're like, yo, they're still running over these gangsters. How are they gonna resolve this? And it just ends. I thought the ending was perfect. I really enjoyed this film. I'm now gonna pass over to Simon.
Yeah, to piggyback off what you just said about those films and the endings, like they do have a tendency to just like the whole story just runs to the finish line. Yeah, it's very direct. I see why people gas these films so much, even if they're maybe a bit overrated. Like this film, because it's sexist, homophobic, transphobic, and something else. But but jokes aside,
it's gangsterphobic too.
Nah, jokes aside, I do see where people come from when they say like it's sexist and like transphobic. In regard to transphobic, like the sense that they use the trope that men will dress up as women to invade women's women's spaces, which was used as like a reason against trans people from being able to live their lives as how they want to. Yeah, so in that sense, in that regard, I didn't like the film. In another regard, I didn't like the film in that it just wasn't funny, like that funny to me. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think it was haha funny, but I do.
It wasn't I might have laughed like twice, maybe. Like
apparently, this film was being rated like the funniest film of all time.
Yeah, I saw an article rated by
AFI. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. This man's never seen Superman. Never seen Booksmart.
Never seen Project X.
Game Night's the funniest film ever.
God. Game Night can go toe-to-toe with any of those films back then. Watch them.
Another great ending as well.
Did you see it coming? I didn't see it coming. So yeah, Kyle, on to you.
So all my problems with the films were grounded in the aspect of like stuff that hasn't aged well. Like I feel like Marilyn Monroe's character is portrayed as like almost one note. Like she at some points does come across as like a gold digger who's only after money. Like they even like flat out say it. It's not like it's implied. She's like, I'm after a millionaire. That's why I'm going here.
That's your yacht? Oh my god, that one?
Shell Oil. The one line that actually had me creasing so heavy was she goes, "It's not like I'm not ever gonna think about him. There's Shell Oil at every corner." She had me creasing. I was like, that's a good line. He was good, bro. I found it funny. I found it quite funny.
But also about like him, the way he was trying to get with her did make me feel uncomfortable, and that's a very extended sequence. So. Yeah. And it goes on and it goes on. You think, oh, it's going to end here, and it goes on and it goes on. And obviously, I did think them dressing up as women. Obviously, it doesn't offend me personally, but I thought someone watching it today could take it the wrong way. But my mind, like as I joked earlier, went straight to White Chicks, like because that's the only film where like I can compare it to, because like it's a remake. It's a remake of Some Like It Hot. But no,
I was gonna say, they are remaking Some Like It Hot.
Are they?
I think they're doing it as a musical, maybe.
And us three are starring in it.
Yo, who's the gangster?
I'm Marilyn Monroe.
You're Kyle's Marilyn.
I'm not dressing up.
You do Jack Lemmon. I'll do Tony Curtis. Kyle?
I'm down. No, but on a serious note, all my problems with the film are rooted in issues of it just aging poorly.
Yeah.
But all my positives to do with the film are to do with the film story, its characters, it's like the performances. I think the performances are what really hold the film together, because obviously they have to like play off, they have to pretend they're women. I bought into it straight away.
Oh yes, 100%.
And they get into their characters straight away. Who is the one who like doesn't get with Marilyn Monroe? What's his name again?
That's Jack Lemon's character.
Daphne.
Yeah.
He's got his
Like,
first woman. Jerry. It was Jerry. What was Joe? What was Jerry?
Yeah.
And Josephine.
Josephine and Geraldine became Daphne.
Geraldine, I think, hammed it up a bit too much at some point. There's the one laugh that really got on my nerves. You know, like the breathing laugh, like
Jim Carrey.
Like the Jim Carrey laugh. Like that's always annoyed me, and it happens like so many times throughout this film. And the guy
you hate
who
Jim Carrey.
No, just that laugh. And there's a guy who's after her who does the exact same laugh. The guy who owns the yacht.
He's like the Pew Le Pew of like he's a
Pepe,
physical
Pepe
embodiment
Le
of Pew
Pew.
Le Pew. Yeah, Pepe. Sorry, my bad. Yeah,
Pepe Le Pew.
Pew Le Pew.
But
Pew Le Pew. Pew Le Pew. No, I'm Pew Le Pew. Pew Pew.
But yeah, I think it does ham it up like a lot, which works and sometimes doesn't work sometimes. But I just thought it was a blast. Like I didn't take it too seriously, and I disagree. I did find it funny. I've noticed because, like I said, in the North by Northwest film, I haven't watched a lot of these classic films, and these were both. Was it 59? They were both released.
I think it might have been. You just read it.
Yeah, I think it was 59. But each line is like a quip. Like there's never like a serious response to a question.
It's almost like a puzzle box, isn't it? In the sense how like a lot of the stuff pays off. Like that one, like what you think might be a throwaway line, like the type O, blood positive. It was like all through everything was so well constructed. It was such a good film in that sense. And I just want to very quickly say, I see the point you guys are making about like the transphobic thing and the whole homophobic and all that. And the thing is, I saw all of that and I realized all of that. And obviously,
but I didn't care.
No. It's not that. Obviously, I have great sympathy for the trans community, and I'm an ally of all these communities and I support. But with the film, my thing was, and I did pick this up in film studies, is like you had to sort of place it in the context of when it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, because a lot of the older stuff, you got to place it in the context, and you can like obviously disagree with like all the different things, and I agree with you there. I did, but I didn't let it hinder the film because I sort of understood the context of when it was more so. So maybe that's the only reason I kind of differ on that aspect with you guys.
I think I viewed it through the same lens you did. Like it never offended me personally, apart from that one scene where he's trying to get with it. I did think that made me feel a bit uncomfortable.
Which scene? Sorry, which scene?
When he's in the yacht and he's trying to like.
Yeah.
See, even that I think there was a lot worse at the time in how they did it. So I'm trying to put it in the context of all the films that came out then. Because I had the exact, how you guys are now, I had the exact sort of similar reaction last year when we did like the film context. It was film in context. That's what the class was called. We did film in context. You had to like put a lot of it into sort of play of like, this is how it was. This was the worst example. This is a better example. It's one of those ones. It's like if you look at 2000s comedies.
Yeah.
They all kind of had the same. Yeah, it's a similar vibe.
Even on that topic, I can think of two occasions where I thought this is quite progressive, if anything.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but carry on. I'll talk at the end.
I think there was one scene where I can't remember the moment, but they like call themselves out on what they're doing, and they're like, "This is wrong."
Yeah.
And then there's obviously the scene on the boat at the end where he reveals he's a man, and I thought it was going to be played for like a gay joke, but the guy's like, "You're a man, but we're not all perfect." And I just thought that was like such a like cute joke. Like, it's a joke, but it's still like a cute and like wholesome ending. Whereas like you said, at this time, this film could have been a lot more like offensive. And back again to like you said about how like everything had a payoff. I've noticed recently, ever since Jojo Rabbit, the importance of a shot that focuses on shoes.
Oh,
because it focuses on. What were they called? Spats around.
They're called spats. That's why it's called spats.
But like, yeah, it focuses on his shoes at the start, and I thought, even I like noticed it. I was like, why are they focusing on his shoes? But it comes up like 3 more times. Yeah. I just thought even that like back then was very like well executed.
So that filming shot comes from this film.
So say that again.
So that filming decision comes from this film.
Well, that's the Jojo Rabbit one.
Yeah, like you call it spats, or did you call the film shot
No,
spats, or was
no.
it the character you
No,
called
no,
out?
no. The character's called Spats, but also
Yeah, I was
what's
about
on
to say,
his
yeah.
no, but what's on his shoes are called Spats
Oh,
as well.
okay, my bad.
Yeah,
bad.
that like weird like when he's like, hey, butter my spats.
Yeah.
Yo, you ever just be chilling with your boys and be like, yo, tie my shoes.
Yeah. Say, boss, you got some nice drip.
But
Every day I wake up and I pray all my homies drip evaporates. Amen.
Simon, what was you gonna say, or was you gonna say the same as me?
Yeah, similar to your point, in that it was kind of progressive, kind of, and I'm being very light here. Like, there's I guess what's his name, Barry Wilder, was trying to be like, I know it's a
Billy.
Who gives a fuck? Who cares? I'm sorry. Rest in peace. Anyway, like in the scene where was it Daphne? Is it Jack Lemon's character? Character who's trying to get into the lift, and the guy keeps annoying her, and he's being very evasive. Yeah, like how that's funny. That was a bit like juvenile, but that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's a great visual gag.
Yeah, that moment you just see how like they're being women and they're being treated as like what women would be treated, and I guess that in that sense it was being like.
I think the main two call that out as well, don't they?
Yeah.
They're like, we're just being treated as women are treated, and it's not presented as like.
He says that line in it where he goes, I'm just like a big red flag for them. I want to be the bull.
But let's talk about Marilyn Monroe for a second, because this is the first time I'd ever seen her in a film, and I agree to a certain extent about her acting ability. I don't think she was bad. I thought she was.
No way.
I thought she was wooden at parts, but I don't know if you mentioned this, but she has like an aura around her, and I don't know if that comes from the knowledge and knowing she's Marilyn Monroe. But when she's on screen, there is like electricity, like you can't look away.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where you were coming from.
Yeah, she had.
I agree.
You go.
Oh, so my bad. Yeah. But I think for me, it's what you said about how she's been like so revered and made to be an icon for so many decades. I think that's why you watch and you're like, damn, like she's like, it makes sense. But it was all engineered anyway, so it's like.
You know what? I just kind of to an extent I do agree, because we know Marilyn Monroe. It's a name brand. You know what I mean? We know who Marilyn Monroe is. But like when I saw her, I don't really give a fuck about Marilyn Monroe. I never really cared in my life like about her. But when I saw her in this, I wasn't thinking about Marilyn Monroe, JFK, all this other shit, right? I was just watching her. But you're right, Kyle. The word you used was aura. She has an aura around her in this film. I don't know if it's because she's playing the role that she really perfected the role of the ditzy blonde. And she has one of the most hilarious lines where they explain everything in the film. We're like, it's like, yeah, but I did all of this stuff. And she's like, I told you, I'm not very bright.
That goes back to my criticism, as I think her character was written as one note. Like she,
like a dumb blonde.
No, but that's the character that was so popular at the time, and she made so popular at the time. Actually, Alana told me somebody else made the character popular, but because Alana's a big like geek for this time period of Marilyn Monroe and all these sort of older films. So yeah.
But also, what did you think of the score whenever she was on screen? And it was like a wow.
That's the way I mean, like sexist. Like,
yeah,
he would do something like say, "Oh, look how women are treated, even when you dress up as women," and then he would say, "He does all these like sexist sounds and dialogue."
I gotta say, sorry, Carl. I gotta say this one thing about the whole sexism thing. This one made me laugh so much because it was like the 1959, and there's only so much they could show. You know when they show Marilyn Monroe walking, and everyone in the cinema at the time would have been like, "Oh, woo, God!" They would have been like, "Wow, bro, she had the fakest ass I've ever seen in my life." Like they padded it so much that it didn't look right. And you know he makes that joke because it looks like Jello. It wasn't moving. It was just like everybody's butt moves when you walk, bro. I don't care who you are, your butt will move. Her butt was not moving, also because it was such a long shot. And I was like, "What am I staring at, bro?" Because like I can't see it. I was like, "What was I supposed to be looking at right now?"
It feels like I keep having to like almost defend the film, even though it did that. It could have done that more. Like it never felt like it overly sexualized.
It was never gratuitous.
Even though the way she was written wasn't the best, but like the camera never lingered too long in like an uncomfortable. Like in 2020, 2021. There's still films where there's like shots and you're like, you didn't have to show us that. Like, do you know when someone's bending down and like
the entirety of the Snyder Cut, you didn't have to show us that.
Oh,
like
please.
I'm not mentioning any Michael Bay names, but
Formative
yeah.
moments.
yeah, I
Like-
think it's a mixed bag in terms of progressiveness. But I think as an overall film, like I think we've spent too much time talking about those aspects because there's so much good stuff about the film.
That's
I
true.
feel like we should shed a light on those.
It was definitely. It was. I feel like this is a quality of film we haven't really talked about it. We kind of skirted around it on this podcast. But like the inherent like watchability of a film, when you're just watching something and you're just enjoying it and it just goes. Like I didn't have that for Entranced Earth. I didn't have that for Le Belle Nourrisson. I didn't have that for just for Taste of Cherry, right? I didn't. Well, Taste of Cherry was watchable, but it wasn't like this. I think because of the way it was. But with that watchability, it was in Heat, it was in Soul as well. Where like you're just watching it, you're like, yo, and you just want to keep like you're not pausing it, not thinking about anything else, you're just watching this film. It's a very watchable film, but people forget that sometimes. People be trying to do it's an Oscar. Like a lot of the Oscar bait films are very non-watchable sometimes. Like you know what I mean? It's just a watchable film.
I don't think that people forget this is watchable. I mean, this is like I checked on Marilyn Monroe's Thinking Letterboxd account.
Marilyn Monroe, she just loves it. She goes, "Hey guys, big fan of the podcast. I would love to come on as a guest."
I checked on her section on the film cast and crew, whatever, and this is her most popular film.
No, I know. I wasn't saying people were forgetting it was watchable. I'm just saying for us who are watching it for the first time, because I don't, it's my first time watching this film. I don't know about you guys, but what Kyle said, it was his first time. You said it was your first time. I do know about you guys, but no, but I just mean it's a watchable film. North by Northwest was very watchable. Sometimes these older films aren't very watchable. Like you'll be watching them and you're like, oh man, another hour and a half to go. I wonder who murders your wife, sir.
When a family member's like, you've got to check out this classic, and you're like, no, I don't.
Nah, like there's too many other things to do in the world, bro. Like
watch Game Night the 15th time.
Yeah, like they go to me like, oh, you have to watch this classic. And you just look at him in the face, like, bro, have you seen Creed 2? You know what I mean? I'd rather watch Creed 2 right now. My favorite thing about these films is, sometimes when they be speaking really fast, they'll just be saying stuff. They're like, oh my god, Joe, they're coming for us. Where are we gonna go?
Like Scooby Doo. Like, everyone talks like E from Entourage.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not to spoil my rating yet, but I've enjoyed this more than North by Northwest because I found the tone and the pacing like going up instead of like starting high and then dipping for me. Like I think the ending was rushed, but that seems to be a trend with a lot of these films. Because like you, I don't know why, because I don't check how long's left in a film. But I saw there was 5 minutes left, and I was like, "We're heading into the third act."
Yeah, I did. You know what it was? It's because I don't check like when I'm watching a film like, oh, how much longer is left. It's never that. But I know how long the film is before I start it. So if I start a film that's like 2 hours, I'll be like, oh, I'm about to go to bed. And it's with these films, it's exactly what you're saying. It's like third act starts, and you're like, this is 2 hours though. I was like, how long is that? I was like, whoa. I was like, has time been going faster or slower?
And they're just so jam packed for like 2 hours long, man.
Like the
gambles they took back then is crazy.
Bro, the gangsters appear in the last 18 minutes of the film. They show up at the convention.
Like all the stories are tied up.
I checked.
At a certain point, I was like, were they just a vehicle for the plot so they could do this comedy like romance?
Yeah, 100%, because they saw they saw what you call it. They saw the Valentine's Massacre happen, and then because that was the Valentine's Massacre that they saw.
Was that a real event?
Yeah, it was done by Al Capone in Chicago. He went to this like garage and murdered a bunch of people.
I'll have to check out the Josh Trank film on it then, like to understand. No, let's wrap up talking about Some Like It Hot. What are your final thoughts, Sharif? What would you?
Oh, I get final thoughts first. Oh, okay, this is new.
I'm warming up for my part.
All right, so Final thoughts on this film. I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. I thought it was very funny. I thought it was very well crafted. I thought it was meticulous in the way that it was written. So the direction was amazing. Like the performances are really good. I could see myself watching it again. It's an easily watchable film. Everything said. What did I rate? North by Northwest.
I imagine a 4. I think you would give that a 4.
A 4. Then I'll give this a 4.5.
Wow.
Not a 4.5. It wasn't. Earlier today, somebody explained to me the conventions of how to rate, and it made a lot of sense. But I'll give this a 4.5. I'll give this a 4.5.
Simon?
Yeah, 4.5 stars of ass.
What?
I don't like
Can
it.
I say
I'm
this
not gonna
thing?
lie. Yeah.
Simon, when it comes to these podcasts, you will spend like, what was it? It was like in Transsurf, you were being like quite positive to it, and you'd be like 2 out of 5. And then some like it hot, I feel like going to be like, it was transphobic, homophobic, but 3.5. Like, I can never read where you're going.
I never know his scores. Like he's like, wait, what do you mean you love a trans earth? Bolsonaro, crazy, and then he goes 2.
I gave that 2, didn't I? Or was it 2.5?
No, but the way you batted for it.
Yeah, of course, because I can see where it's going. Doesn't mean I like it. Like, I can see what you're trying to do here, and I respect it. But overall, like, try again.
That's what we said, and you said you guys just don't understand it, and we said we do. The mistake was Kyle admitted he didn't know about Brazilian politics. You should have never said nothing, Kyle, because if you didn't say anything, he would have just shut up.
Yeah, you guys are dumb, not gonna lie, bro.
But
anyway,
Simon, surprise us. What's your rating for Some Like It Hot?
Yeah, so like I said, it was sexist, transphobic, whole lot of ass, and my overall score is gonna be 3.5. 2.5. 2.5.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Still better than Trans Earth, yeah.
My point of view, I feel like there is an element of sarcasm to what Simon is saying. Those aspects are there. I'm just warning, like, if someone's going out the way to watch it, and if you are like offended by stuff and you can't watch it through the lens of it being something made.
Yeah, if you watch it without the context,
and if you're not, I was gonna say that if you're not someone like me who doesn't watch it in context, like,
yeah, if you watch it without context, it'll catch you. It'll catch you straight away. I think the black and white, to be fair, does kind of help put it in context, like almost immediately. Like, this was like in color.
Yeah.
Because this was the version I watched. I don't know about you guys. It was like premium. It looked great.
Yeah.
It looked really good. So.
But also on that point, I feel like a general audience wouldn't find anything wrong with it. I feel like it's more if it relates to issues you're going through. Because like,
if you're woke, as people use pejoratively today. But
I feel like they're the biggest negatives towards this film, and I don't feel like from a story point it's perfect. I feel like I've mentioned this film twice, but I was joking. But when you have seen stuff like White Chick, like this plot has been done before, and dare I say, no, I'm not there. It wasn't better. I feel like
it was way better.
I feel like
I've never seen White Chicks.
You're not a real milkman, bro. I'm telling you, you ain't.
I've never claimed to be a milkman. You know what? Occasionally, I might have cracked open the bottle, taken a sip, but then sometimes I was like, not for me.
Yeah, I feel like current audiences would have seen this done before, so they may not get as much out of it as audiences did seeing it for the first time. I imagine like this would have blown people's minds.
Yeah,
but I'm in between a 3.5 and a 4 because, like we said with the Jeff episode, for me rating films does depend a lot on rewatchability. I would never go out my way to rewatch it, but if it was on TV, like if I see anything in black and white on TV, I'm like, I'll turn over. But if I'm like, is that Marilyn Monroe? Is this Some Like It Hot? Let me sit back and enjoy the show.
You're gonna watch it. Listen, you're a Some Like It thought, bro. That's what you are.
But yeah, I would watch it.
Go back to the workshop. That was ass, bro. Like, this guy's missing. Tell him to me this week.
I'm just trying to be like you, Simon. Just trying to be like you.
Yeah.
If I had to settle on a rating, I will say 3.5. So this is a segment where we talk about what we've been watching this week. Sherrick, do you want to go first? I know
I
you don't
do.
watch films, so I thought
No, guys, this I prepared. I was sick of the judgment. You guys were like, "Oh, Sherry goes to watch the thing. Oh, he's done more short films. Whoa, bare minimum, guys." Well, guys, this week not only have I watched a film, I watched 2 films, feature length. And not only did I watch 2 films, I watched 3 short films as well. That's 5 films I have watched this week. Right?
let's focus on the 2. Let's see.
Not gonna be talking about the shorts.
I want to hear what the feature length films are.
First, okay, we'll go with it. Okay, so first film I rewatched. This is I rewatched. The first one of them I watched for the first time. This is I rewatched. I rewatched Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Man, just forget how game changing Winter Soldier was. Shield was Hydra. This is the first appearance of the Falcon, the Winter Soldier. This is, bro. The sequences are insane. Like the action scenes are crazy. Like when they're driving down the highway, there's lots of stuff that you forget. This really developed Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow out. Like, so you actually cared about her as a character. She was doing all sorts of cool stuff. It was great, man. Like, it was a good film. And like, and his costume is sick as well, which is underrated because Captain America has some terrible costumes in those films. Avengers costume is the worst costume by far. That's a terrible costume. Again, Joss Whedon, you've committed many crimes, but you'll pay for that one. Weirdly enough, another sequel. Right, and I have to talk about this because I know you guys have seen it, and I wanted to. I've been waiting all week to talk about this, guys. I saw Wonder Woman 1984, and you know what? Okay, listen. Maybe I'm in the wrong here, right? Maybe I'm in the wrong here. That I don't. Was it supposed to be as funny as it was? Because that shit was hilarious. That film was such
Pedro Pascal was meant to be funny.
Bro,
I think.
Pedro Pascal was the best part of that film, first and foremost.
Amazing
but
guy.
Everything about that film was so hilarious. Bro, every time Wonder Woman runs, I can't take it seriously. Yeah, it's the exact speed you're going now, right? But everything just goes behind her. It's so dumb. This woman was dickmatized, bro. She was dickmatized since World War One. She was
Speaking of dick, let's talk about how problematic this is.
Okay, listen. I remember you guys told me about how problematic it was and how like the stuff that happened. It wasn't needed. It was the funniest part. It's not like that was the only way they could have explained it because it was only with Diana's wish. It was only with her wish that somebody else became Steve Trevor. It was like, why can't you just make him appear?
You know, like with the climax, when people like wish for like the nukes to fly. And then when they renounced it, some would go back and some would just disappear. Like there was
no, because in the wish, when he's like, I wish there was a war, the war just shows up and it goes away. So things can clearly just appear out of thin air. Hilarious. I was expecting nothing and I got a barrel of laughs.
Got the worst post-credit scene as well I've ever seen.
You know, the post-credit
I don't
scene.
remember it. What happened?
The post-credit scene means a lot to like 4 people in the world who are still alive. Like that post-credit scene means so much to maybe 80 people.
Anyone who was alive when
Linda Carter was Wonder Woman. Bro, the post-credit scene, right, is Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, right? So she's like, she was the first Amazonia. And now look, it ties back to that show, maybe, I guess. I don't know. They're doing a Wonder Woman 3, right? And they're like, it's going to be set in the present. Oh, also, actually, more dumb point. This just occurred to me, right? You know, every time Diana, like, stops crying, and this is what I meant, because I texted you guys while I was watching the film, and I was like, can she fly? And I didn't realize it was going to be a big plot point. I thought she could already fly. Because you know when she does those jumps, where she's like, it's the dumbest thing. And like, oh man, but you know what makes me laugh at you more than the film? Okay, and I want to ask you guys, were these your complaints as well? Because I'll laugh in your face if these were your complaints as well, right? The people who are complaining online, like the Snyder fan bro nerds, were like, "No, she has to be a savage, and my Wonder Woman uses a sword and a shield, and she's gonna murder everybody." And I'm like, yo, first and foremost, go outside, get some fresh air, walk around the block, come back. Secondly, they're like, she doesn't have a sword and a shield. She never once needed it. She never needed a sword and a shield in this film. When would she have used it? Everybody she stopped, she just kind of ramped up, and then just like threw away. And the guy just knocked out. What did you want her to do? Murder her best friend? Just gut her like a fucking fish? Like, you're insane. Man's like, no, I wanted my warrior Amazon princess. I'm like, blood, she's a fictional character. Relax. They're like, yeah, but she was in war before. Yeah, because the film was set in World War One, you dumbass. This is just set in like some part of America, Washington, D.C. in the 80s. Again, Gal Gadot's amazing line reading. Everything's going to carnage. Everything's in fucking mayhem. People are killing each other on the street. Oh no. Gal Gadot is ass.
One sec, I have a question. You know Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Is she
Oh, and wait, sorry. And when she saved those kids, yo, Gal Gadot's not saving any Middle Eastern children that are not Israeli. She's not saving no Middle Eastern children that are not Israeli, bro. If those kids are Palestinians, oh, I didn't see the car. Oh, Steve, I didn't see the car. My strength is gone, Steve. I couldn't catch the car.
You know Wonder Woman though? Is she part of like a bigger group?
What you mean?
I think.
Is she part of a league?
What's it called? What's it called?
Amazons.
No, Justice League.
Oh.
Justice League.
Is she
I think
part
Go on.
Zack Snyder's Justice.
I see why people fought for this. I mean, nobody really knew what was in it, but like Zack Snyder, don't come for my boy again, fam. Next time I'll be on the front lines for saying release the Snyder cut. There's no reason. Like, why couldn't he finish the film? Was it his daughter dying?
His daughter tragically, she
yeah.
she took her own life, and then the grief that puts onto her family. I heard the film was dedicated for his daughter, wasn't it? It's for Autumn.
That got me, yeah.
I think that's beautiful. You know, I have no issue with Zack Snyder himself. I honestly think Zack Snyder's a very good director.
He is. Watchmen is an amazing film.
300 Watchmen, every sucker punch, like his directing style is very well done, and I think I understand. I see everything that happened. Whether or not I like Man of Steel, Batman, Superman,
Amazing films.
I personally don't like them, but that has nothing. I think he's a great guy. I think he's great. He seems like a good person, and he seems like and clearly he cares about these things and he works on them. I think anybody who does that with a creative vision, you know, he's not Roman Polanski. You let Roman Polanski get a full cut, that man's a rapist. You let Woody Allen get a full cut. He married and molested his stepdaughter.
Speaking of Woody Allen, there's a documentary now about him out right now.
Have you watched that as well?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh.
It's called Allen versus Farrow, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, speaking of Allen, Carl, what do you think of Barry Allen's portrayal in Zack Snyder's Justice League?
What I will say, I wasn't a fan of the execution of it. Like, it wasn't like a take that I liked. But what I did like was that Flash and Cyborg were like the heart of this film. Whereas if you look at the Justice League, they're like the least important characters in it, which makes sense why Ray Fisher has been like so vocal and so mad about his experience with Warner Brothers. Because I would be mad if I was like the lead of a film and relegated to like not even second or third, like fifth fiddle.
And he wasn't even. Yeah, he didn't do anything in the Justice League. And
there's one great scene that I won't ruin with him, where like his powers are like shown in full force.
Oh, did they actually show what he does? Because they didn't do that in the film. I'm really excited to see how they do his powers.
Honestly, the way his powers are shown, the way Flash's powers are shown, like everything.
His character is given justice, if you will. Like, I don't even know why they cut this out to begin with. Like, I'm so confused with what
they were trying to keep.
Joss Whedon, Mike, we need to get this guy in.
You know what? Let's talk about it, because Avengers 1 is ass, and so is Age of Ultron. That man has contributed nothing to culture apart from harassment.
Even him and Dan Schneider, same room, 2 bullets. Speaking of
one bullet through both of their heads.
Yeah.
Second bullet for the guy who hired him.
Back to the Dan Schneider cut, though. No, but you know what? I'm a mixed bag, because it's good that he got to like see out his vision. But on the one hand, I do think, do you know, if this film was released theatrically, it would have been torn to shreds by casual audiences. This is not like a casual audience film.
To be fair, though, everything about this film, from the people who demanded for it to be released to the impact it's had on HBO. I don't know if you guys have read up on like HBO Max subscriptions went up just to watch this film and stuff, right? The people you've got too big. You got the giant Zack Snyder like fans and the people who are coming in. That poor guy I talked about earlier who wanted his Wonder Woman back. All those guys, right? Who are like loving the film anyway. He's got that massive audience already. These guys like hired a billboard. They flew.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Times Square. They
Yeah.
flew a plane over and released the Snyder Cut. These guys have donated so much money to like suicide prevention charities, stuff like that. Which I'm like, I appreciate the toxic fan base. I don't want to talk about them because you're ass, right? We don't talk about the toxicity, but you have the other sort of casual fan as well. Or like the person, people have heard about this. This is a thing. Like my mother was like, "So what's Zack Snyder's Justice League?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" Like, what are you asking me this question for, Mom? Say the words. Release the Snyder Cut.
I feel like people have got their Justice League fix. So let's give them some other films to watch. Does
Quickly,
anyone...
sorry, when you said Dan Schneider, you know what came to my head?
What?
Just Feet League. I'm so bad, but like. Anyway, let's get
Simon regains his throne as the worst person alive.
Let's give people recommendations. My recommendation is Me on a Dying Girl this week.
Oh, I've seen that.
That's mine.
Why are you choosing to recommend Kyle? Simon?
Do I? Oh, man. Explain why. Basically,
it's a great coming of age film.
It's
great performances by John Bernthal.
John Bernthal's in there.
Yeah, he is. He's the teacher.
This guy doesn't know nothing about films, man. I'm telling you, kick him
I've
out.
seen Me Earn the Dying Girl. Is that John Bernthal in there?
Remember he had like a cool teacher that lets him like.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I
he
watched
wears a
it.
plaid t-shirt and plaid shirt and like jeans, I think.
I watched that film once, on my iPhone 5C, and I was like, maybe I gotta go back to it. calling IMDb.
Christopher Nolan, is that you?
You know what? I watched.
Report a crime.
You know what's crazy? I watched Tenet on this. I was like, wow, is he on? Is that him? Is that him as well?
If you ever meet him, get the DVD cover on your phone and say, "Can you sign this for me, please?"
I'm like, hey, Chris, look at this. I'm watching your movie. And then all you hear is, ooh, I'm the smallest speaker you ever heard.
Well, what's the guy's name in Power Rangers? Is it C.J. Riley?
Yeah, C.J. Riley.
This was his big break.
He's the best part of this film by far.
Yeah, he is. I remember that he was my favorite. He plays Earl.
Yeah.
Nah, I thought he was playing a Dying Girl, bro.
Olivia Cook, by the way, legend.
Yeah.
Legend.
He was also in another great film came out last year called Sound of Metal. Is she? Yeah, she was. I was telling you.
I didn't hear about that one.
Damn.
Yeah, I knew it would work. Give me 4 weeks. Huh? I'm the new WWE champion is.
Oh man, that was so good.
I'm doing the Michael Jordan. He jumps and he goes.
But I was about to make a joke saying my back's hurting from carrying Simon's pick on mine. Having to explain. What?
Yeah, what's yours then?
Can I say my choice? You can end it, Kyle. Do you mind?
Yeah.
Sorry, so just interrupt. My choice, guys, is me, Kyle, and Simon's mobile.
Okay, let me go to mine.
Say your choice.
On that topic of you watched it on your phone, I'm trying to think. There was a period where like I was watching a lot of films on Putlocker on my phone.
That's crazy.
You know what? No, but I will say I watched some. I did the same thing. Putlocker on the phone. I watched Wolf of Wall Street. Her. I've seen so many films on my phone. You know what's crazy? Do you not feel like it's so close? Because you're like, wow, you're like so immersed in it.
No, it feels further away because the aspect ratio.
Nah, if it's close.
Translate on the phone.
You feel immersed in that, bro. That's a good time like that.
It's the video movie watching experience.
Do films work? Actually, no, because it's not, is it? I would say VR with the VR thing.
They do work in VR.
So you get 360 Wolf of Wall Street and you're in the stock trading room.
No. What they do? No, not like that. What they do is they put it one screen there, one screen there, one screen there, one screen there. They stole that idea from Kanye. Actually, Kanye pioneered the 6-screen experience for films, and the people just said, "What if we just use 4? Like, what if we just use 4 and we call the top 2 something else?"
Kanye pioneered mirroring videos.
Kanye pioneered the 6-screen theater experience, but his idea was it's 6 literal screens. So what they did with VR was take his exact idea, but they said it's only one VR goggle, so it's not we're stealing from him, but it's the exact same idea. So when Kanye got mad, Kanye was like, why did nobody like pay me or credit me for this idea? What they said to Kanye was, no, your idea was because Kanye's idea was 6 literal screens in front of you. Imagine where you guys are sat now. One screen below you, you'd be standing like watching the film from every angle. Which I don't know how they plan to do that. That's such an insane concept, right? How are you watching it from 6 different? Because stuff is happening behind you. There's no way you have any clue what's going on. You can't watch all of it at once. But he had this at Cannes. The people who did VR came to Cannes, right? Who were there, saw it. Were like, hey, we can do something with this.
On the topic of pioneering, the film I'm about to talk about now, I watched on my phone for the first time, and you can tell it's changed like films forever. And that film is Project X.
Oh.
And you know what? It's just dawned on me that film probably works on your phone because of like the found footage nature of it. But I feel like you have to be at a certain age to watch that film and like appreciate it. Like if you were to watch that film as like a 30-year-old man for like the first time, it would not hit at all. If you were to watch like an 8-year-old, it might blow your mind.
As an 8-year-old?
Yeah, what the hell?
But as a teenager watching that film for the first time, it ruins your like party going
Expectations,
no house party lives up to this.
Because Miles Teller was never at any house party I went to. Doesn't he play himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not called Miles though.
But he meets. I think
He's
they-
Tiles Miller.
Yeah.
He's Tiles Miller.
Yeah. Are you gonna come to the party later? What was in the store?
Isn't that the guy?
Yeah, of course.
Isn't it the same guy who's in Me, Earl and the Dying Girl as well? It's like
Yeah.
the lead.
John Berthnall.
Oh my god.
John,
You made the dad here.
everybody knows John Berthnall is the lead of Me, Earl and the Dying Girl. It's John Berthnall, Earl and the Dying Girl. Sorry, Colin. Back to your pick.
If you haven't seen Project X, go and watch it because it's the most fun film ever made. That's
Does
all I can
it hold up?
Let me see what my review looks like, because I think my review was long as hell on Project.
I got something to say, something controversial.
Go on.
I've never seen Project X.
You're not a real film fan. Yeah, look at my review.
What the hell?
Can you see the 5 stars?
Yo, I saw it straight away. Yo, I've never seen Project X. I've seen bits of it, and I watched those bits on a BlackBerry. But that's what I've seen.
Watch it as soon as possible. It will change.
On a big TV screen as well, like make the room black as hell.
Or on your phone.
Yeah.
Or on my laptop. Or MacBook.
Or any way possible, just watch it.
I wonder if it's on my PlayStation 5.
What's your recommendation, Cherry?
Guys, I'm going to recommend something that kind of ties in with all of our things. So you're thinking, what ties in with Me, Earl and the Dying Girl and Project X, right? Guys, have you ever heard of a little film called Inception?
Get out of here.
No, I'm joking. We already recommended. I was thinking what I was recommend this week because we talked about obviously Some Like It Hot in this episode. So should I think what's a good film that kind of, you know how I like to relate the films kind of somewhat. And I thought I'd go with another Billy Wilder pick, which was we talked about earlier with the Double Indemnity. Double Indemnity is a film noir, and it's one of those classic like film noirs. And if you like those sort of hard boiled, it's not a detective story as per se, but it's like guy getting involved with a femme fatale, you know, and this girl's up to no good. She's having problems with her husband. He's just trying to help. If you like those type of films, this is the godfather of those films. It does it the best, some could argue. And it just like this film was beautifully directed, amazingly well done. But it just gets you, man. There's like, you find it's infinitely watchable. And it ends very abruptly again, now that I think about it, but so much better than this. This ended really good. And I love the ending of Some Like It Hot. But that, man, like that, I think that was the first time ever Billy Wilder was like, yo, let the camera run for half a minute extra, please. Because it worked. It worked perfectly. And Double Indemnity has one of the funniest shootouts ever. Well, it's not a shootout. It has one of the funniest, like, you know those scenes in the film where somebody's like, I'm about to kill you, I'm about to kill you. Like, they're there. They're, like, locked in. They're like, oh, what's about to happen. It has one of the funniest scenes in those ever. I don't want to spoil it though for anyone who's going to watch it. You will know it the second you see it because they are carrying giant weapons behind their back, like comically huge. And then they just keep hugging, but they're like one arm hugging. And she's like in his arm, but she's also got like a huge sword behind her. All right, that was my recommendation. Kyle, take us away.
Well, we need to do a group recommendation.
Oh,
But I think we should go with a film you watched this week. I think we should go for The Winter Soldier because
yeah, I agree.
at the moment, Falcon and The Winter Soldier will be out. So, refreshing knowledge.
It'll be on its third episode by the time this comes out?
Second or third? I think it's the third episode. We've just watched the first one. We're all fans.
Guys, I can't believe at this point when this episode drops, we'll have seen the third episode. Crazy. Guys, what about the twist at the end of episode 3? Wow. Yo, crazy if that happened. Sorry for you if it didn't.
Yeah, you just ruined it for me. Imagine if like, now we expect a twist.
The
Yeah,
MCU has changed forever.
Wow. Either the MCU has changed forever or it has not changed at all. There's no in between. It can't just change a little bit.
But yeah, refresh your knowledge, watch it, and then appreciate Falcon and Winter Soldier a bit more.
And I will say as well, with Winter Soldier, you're getting one of the best action films in the 2010s.
I agree. Better than John Wick.
Whoa, okay.
No,
I
just wanted to see
mean-
Diamond's reaction.
I mean, I don't know if John Wick could really do all the stuff Captain America could. I've never seen John Wick do the flip. You know that kick that Captain America always does?
Yeah.
Where he goes, he always charges it. He's like, his finishing move. He did it to Thanos, do you remember? Thanos was there and he went, "Doo."
If John Wick was in Wakanda, Thanos is never snapping his finger.
Yo, John Wick in Wakanda, if I was there, shit would have gone different. Would have been a lot of blood. There would have been a lot of blood in that Wakandan forest.
Sorry, Mark Wahlberg.
Yo, hey Thanos, huh? You want this gem, huh? Huh? Is this what you're looking for? Huh? Is this what huh? Huh? You know who I am? I run Boston, bro.
And the whole cast of Entourage comes in.
Oh yeah! Out comes what's his name, Johnny Drama. Oh.
They beat him.
That's what I mean. And then it just goes, my mind's running angel and the memories of you. Ah.
Chain Hang Low by Gibbs starts playing.
Yo, you know where I'm from, bro? What's that thing that Eminem says to Vinny Chase? Because where he's like, yo, relax. And then Vince Chase goes to him, right? He's like, you forgot where you're from, M, huh? You're a gangster no more? That's what they say to Thanos. Huh? You forgot what planet you're from, Thanos? You're not gangster no more? Take off the gauntlet.
Vinny Chase is still the best Aquaman. And on that note, I feel like we should wrap it up there. I've been Kyle.
It's your boy. It's me.
And
Shark.
Simon.
we were the CineLads, and we hope you enjoyed.